Hi everybody, welcome to my Flosstube. My name is Amy. I'm Fiber Arts Amy here and on Instagram. It's been a few weeks since I did a regular Flosstube. There's Freya in her usual napping spot. I feel like I have a lot to show you today, but not a whole lot of stitching. If you have seen my stories on Instagram, we went on a family vacation. We went on a huge, for us, what was like a huge adventure and a huge trip, and went to Hawaii. So, which was amazing, absolutely amazing, trip of a lifetime. It was also exhausting because my children are on the young side, and you know, bicker a lot and get very overtired. And this was like first like big plane rides, and you know, for most of them, and it was a huge adventure for our family. But it means I didn't get a lot of stitching time in over the last several weeks because honestly, like a week in advance, I was doing almost nothing except like getting us ready for the trip. And then we were on the trip for 8 days, and while we were there, I mean, I was barely stitching. Barely. I'll show you what I managed to get done. But, you know, we were like adventuring all day. And then at night, by the time we got the kids in bed, and they were staying up way later than they normally would, my husband and I would go to sleep. I mean, there was no like, it wasn't a relaxing vacation. It was a beach vacation, but it was a in the water playing with your kids kind of beach vacation, not a sitting on the sand, sipping a drink and stitching kind of vacation. It was wonderful. It was absolutely amazing. But I do have some haul and some other interesting things to show you. Anyway, I'll stop blabbing and I guess get into things. I have done a number of rescues. Lately, there's been a lot of really good stitching up to be rescued on like eBay and Goodwill and some other sites. There's been like some stuff out there that I really like, so I have picked up some rescues pretty inexpensively, and I will show you. I'm going to show you those first. Okay, so I have to say, while I was in Hawaii, somebody put up a fully stitched Queen of Freedom from Mirabilia, framed and everything, on eBay. I don't remember the exact cost, but it was like less than what the pattern sometimes goes for. And I saw it first thing in the morning when I got up in Hawaii, but it's 6 hours, like, you know, behind like East Coast time. And so, I mean, I immediately went to eBay and was like, it's mine, and it wasn't there. Somebody had already bought it. So if one of my viewers snagged that Queen of Freedom, the fully stitched Queen of Freedom, please let me know. I would love to know who ended up with it. And I just hope, and I've got to imagine it has to have gone to a stitcher, you know, because the price was high enough. I don't see somebody buying that like on a whim unless they know, you know, what it is. Oh my God, I want to know who bought that. So if it was you, tell me, because I'm very happy for you, whoever got it. And I hope it gets, you know, pride of place in your home. It was beautiful. Okay, anyway, on to the things that I have purchased. So this came up, and I made an offer to the seller and ended up getting it. Is it called a Christmas visit? Can't remember. I think it's a Christmas visit. This is a piece by Marilyn Levitin-Blum. I'm not good at remembering like which came out as a Lavender and Lace or a Told in the Garden or a Butternut Road, but it's one of those. This was definitely a Marilyn Levitin-Blum piece, and I have this as a whip. But I've only stitched like, I think I've only stitched like a little bit in here or something. I haven't done much of it, and I love this piece. I really like, I think I've mentioned before, with Mirabilias, I tend to really like the pieces that have like some sort of like fading into the background stuff going on, or like more of a scene to them. Like I love like Cinderella from Mirabilia has, you know, the palace in the background that she's running from. You know, Fairy Idol or Muka that have all that stuff around them. Villa Mirabilia, I like the background stuff, even though it might not be the most fun stitching for me. I like all that. So I love the way this is done. I love how the door is just kind of like sketched out. Like that's done largely in backstitch. There's some full X's in there, but it's largely in backstitch. I think it's stunning. I want to find someplace good for this. I'm not sure yet where it's gonna go. It might end up going in my craft room in the cabin, because that's kind of where everything ends up getting put. And I know it's like technically a Christmas piece, but I don't think it doesn't need to be. I don't know. I just think it's stunning. It's a pretty lady, and I think it's beautiful. So I picked that up. I also got, okay, so I was going through my stash recently, some of my older stash, and I came across, oh, these are so dirty. I came across this old pattern that I have that, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I had that. I'd really love to stitch it. And then, this is so interesting. Okay, anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted by my own purchases. So I saw this pattern, was like, oh, I'd forgotten about that. I'd really love to get to that and stitch it. I don't know if will ever get to it. And then like literally 2 days later, I'm looking online and I found a stitch model. So I purchased this. This is from, I think it's Marbeck Designs. It says, yeah, it's Marbeck. The design is called Windermere Angel. And the reason I know that, other than the fact that I could look it up because I have the pattern, is there's this on the back. So this presumably came out of a cross-stitch store at some point. I love knowing the history of pieces. I mean, this was stitched by LL. If anyone recognizes this tag and you know what store this came from, or if you're the stitcher, let me know. I would love to know. I just like knowing the history of those things. I love, this is so stunning. I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but this is so beautiful down here. There's lots of sparkle. She's beautiful. I would have, if I was stitching it now, I'd have chosen a different fabric. This is done. It's at least 36 count. Well, it's on an Aida. It's at least 18 count. It might be a 20 count Aida. But her wings and her skin kind of blend into the fabric a bit. I probably would have picked something different. But I think she's beautiful. And she was actually being sold, there's like dust bunnies floating around, sorry about the crash. She was being sold as a set with this. I don't know what, does it say? Snow Angel. I have a tag for this one too. Snow Angel. She's beautiful. Also, I would have picked a different fabric. She's also stitched on that same like 18 or 20 count, and there's no glass and they are dusty. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. I'm not, I mean, I know where I want to hang them ultimately, but if I hang them, I'll probably hang them. For right now, they're going to stay in their frames. I'm kind of hopeful that perhaps they're framed well. They were hung as models in a cross-stitch shop. I'm wondering if maybe the cross-stitch shop framed them. I'm hoping maybe, so that they are hopefully treated well inside and aren't like glued onto anything. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. At some point I may pop them out and give them a good wash. This is just so beautiful. Look at all the sparkle. how intricate. I mean, these are lovely, and I think their faces are well done. These are really, really lovely. And I've seen some other Marbeck designs recently that I didn't love as much, but these two I'm a huge fan of. So anyway, they're gonna stay in their frames for now. They'll get hung up somewhere for now. One day I may pop them out of their frames and wash them and either reframe them or maybe turn them into some cushions or something. I'm not sure. But they are where they are for now, and I'm very happy to have them. They, again, like, I did not spend a ton of money on these at all. Okay. Some of it seems like I've gotten a lot lately. Some of these have just been sitting around for a while, but me forgetting to show you. Okay, so some of you, if you've watched all my videos, or if you go back, I think, to my very first video, you'll see that I bought a shop model of Fairy Godmother from Marilyn Levitt and Blum. I believe it was Lavender and Lace. Again, I always, in my head, I confuse the Lavender and Lace, the Told in the Garden and the Butternut Road, which were her three, like, labels that she designed under, the three, like, company names. So I have Fairy Godmother, and she also has I'm not even gonna remember what it's called. Isn't that awful? I don't remember what it's called. But there's one that basically is like a companion. It's the same sort of design, but it's a young, like, fairy. And I got a copy of it fully stitched. I had this up, I had this kitted up. I actually bought a kit of this pattern years and years and years and years ago. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I pulled the fabric and picked out a fabric that I liked better for it and got it ready to go, and haven't started it yet though, and I just got it fully stitched. This is also done on, this is probably 18. I think this is 18, it might be 20. This is definitely not 16, count Ada. But look at how stunning, again, the sparkle. This was always one of my absolute favorite Marilyn Levitt and Blum designs. These ropes of beads, and the beads definitely do stand out. Like, they're a lot more prominent on here than they might be if they were done, if the piece were stitched on like a 14 or 16 count or 28, 32 count, but I think still looks very, very lovely. The colors in this just in person, it's just stunning. I love the way the like forest was done up here in these wings. She is just beautiful. She is so stunning. So, so happy to get this. This will definitely get framed at some point and hung up near the Fairy Godmother. I'm very grateful to have this. She's beautiful. You roll it up. I'm trying to stay organized as best I can. For those of you who do this Flosstube thing, you know how you end up with, like, I know at least I'm not the only one. You end up with like a mass of stuff around you. Okay, there's still more. There's more rescued pieces. So this one, I don't remember the name of the design, but this is from P. Buckley Moss. So P. Buckley Moss is an artist living in Virginia. She does a lot of Amish paintings, or has done in the past a lot of Amish paintings. My mother-in-law, who lives in Virginia, kind of near P. Buckley Moss, is a big P. Buckley Moss fan. And that's how I got introduced to P. Buckley Moss. But back, I think in like the 80s or 90s, a lot of P. Buckley Moss paintings got turned into cross-stitch charts. They're all like out of print now. I think they were, like, for some people, they were very, very popular. But they are harder to find now. Now, I say that, some of them are very easy to find. Some of them not so much. But this one I love. I'm a sucker at this point, now that I'm a mom, for things that have, like, mom and child stuff. So I love this. I think it's stunning. And it was only a few dollars. The reason I got it, though, is I think I'm actually, you know those, I should have grabbed it to show you. I have those Lone Elm Lane round shaker boxes, and I think this will fit perfectly in the lid of one of those. So that's my plan for this, is to mount it in one of those. And at some point I do want to film, it'll happen when it happens, but a video of me mounting, because I have a piece that I stitched too that I need to mount in one of those Low Numb Lane shaker lids. But that's what I'm going to do with this. I'm very happy to get it. I love her bonnet. It's so pretty. Okay. 2 more rescues. Only one that's fully stitched. Okay, this is the one that makes me laugh. Okay, Teresa Wensler. If you guys watch me, you know I love Teresa Wensler. I have several of her projects going. They're very, very intricate. I haven't finished one yet. Okay. So she has a piece called The Unicorn. I think it's just called The Unicorn. And it's a unicorn looking in a window at night. I wonder if I can pull it up real quick to show you. So I don't have the chart handy. And it's beautiful. It's in one of her fantasy collection books. And you know, it's on my want to stitch one day list. Lord knows when that's going to happen. It's also done on black, and I think really kind of needs to be done on black in order to really get the full effect. Here it is. This is just Teresa Wensler's website. So this is Unicorn from Teresa Wensler. So all that black is open space. It's not stitched. It's not filled in. It's beautiful. So I saw a piece of this come up for sale. Again, not expensive. It was an auction, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't going for much. Oh my goodness. This is insane. You ready for this? So I was expecting a stitched piece, I don't know, like here by here or something. Does it show on here what the, I'm looking to see if it says what the dimensions are. 12 by 15. Stitched on 25 count, Lugana 2/2, it would be 12 by 15. The stitch count is 141 high by 176 wide. Look at what showed up. I can't even, is it in frame? I can't, look at how huge this is. It's enormous. It's like a blanket. It's like a lap blanket. And it's not even, I mean, it's a big, there's like extra fabric around the edge, but it's still huge. The stitched area is huge. Oh my goodness. Okay, so my plan for this, I'm already knocking things over. So this, it looks to me like it is fully stitched. This is crazy. But not backstitched. I believe I would have to look at the chart to be sure, but there's no backstitching on here, and I don't know a single Teresa Wensler that doesn't include backstitching. However, this thing's enormous. And I don't think I want to go and backstitch it. I just don't. If this had been a size that I thought I would frame, I would probably backstitch it. I have another Teresa Wensler I'm backstitching. I have that one Paula Vaughn that I'm doing the backstitching and the little bits of cross stitching that are left in it that I'm working on, which I've shown in other Flosstubes and I'm sure we'll show again. If I wanted to frame this, I would probably finish it, but I don't. This thing is just massive. Oh, it's massive. So here's what I think I'm gonna do. I think I'm going to make a pillow out of it. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that, like a nice big throw pillow. Not quite sure how I'm gonna go about doing that because Pillow forms are usually in standard sizes, right? And I don't want to have to buy like 18 packs of polyfill to like make my own custom size pillow. So I have some investigating to do. It's not like my top priority at the moment. But what I think I'm going to do is make a nice big cozy throw pillow out of it. If anybody wants to know what the back of a Teresa Wensler sometimes looks like. All those color changes and blends and everything. But I think what I'll do is I'm not going to cut off the excess fabric. So that if I change my mind, like in my seam allowance, I'll just hide this in the seam allowances. And so if I change my mind at some point in the future, I can always take the pillow apart and backstitch it. But I think it looks pretty decent without the backstitching. I mean, it's not like you can't tell what's going on in this without the backstitching. Some of these colors, like some of these blends are beautiful. Look at those beautiful purples. I mean, they're a pain to stitch, but I love Teresa Wensler's blends. I love the look it ends up giving a piece. They're so beautiful. So anyway, that's my plan for this. It's just so big. And it is, I mean, it's stitched on, I think, similar, I've had this happen before. I believe this is 10 count Aida, but it's done over 2, so that would make it a 10 count piece. 10 count for this. It's huge. Okay, that was the one that made me laugh the most. So the next thing is like a partial rescue. So I watch Needle and Flax, her Flosstube. I love watching her Flosstube. Even though I don't stitch reproduction samplers almost ever, I own a few, a very few. I don't think I've ever stitched one. I like them and I appreciate them. I don't particularly have the urge to stitch them typically. But I love watching her Flosstube. She's like so into history. And I find her relaxing to listen to. And I feel like I learn things, especially about U.S. First Ladies when I watch her Flosstube. So I watch her Flosstube, and she introduced me to, I think it's 1844 Stitchery. It's a web shop where what the owner does, I guess, is like buy up like other people's stashes. Sometimes from like estate sales, sometimes just when somebody's destashing. But she'll buy up stashes and list them for sale. And recently, when I was watching the Needle and Flax Flosstube, she mentioned that is it 1844, 1884 Stitchery, something like that, had just bought, I think it was like 18 boxes or 19 boxes of stuff from somebody's estate, and that it was a very eclectic mix of patterns and things. And it was like, I went on there and looked, and I mean, there was everything from repro samplers to Mirabilias. There was tons of stuff. So I bought this. So this is I actually already have a chart of this. This is Lavender and Lace. Of course, my chart isn't open to the right page, the title page. It's Guardian Angel. And I have a kit of this from like way back in the day. This is Guardian Angel from Lavender and Lace. Oh, focus. I've always loved this piece. The reason why I bought it, even though I already have a kit of it, is because this also counted as a rescue. I like finishing other people's needlework. I don't know. That appeals to me. It appeals to me to take something that might otherwise get thrown in the trash and rescue it, right? So this is a piece that I love, that I wanted to stitch one day anyway, and here it is, you know, partially stitched. I love the idea of going back in and finishing up this person's work and than hanging it on my wall and it being a joint effort, you know, a group effort. I think it's on probably a Lugana, and it's, I think, 20 count, which I don't, let me see if this takes beads. I don't normally stitch these sorts of pieces on 20 count, but you certainly can. Oh yeah, there's no beads. There's no beads or anything, so there's absolutely no reason not to do it on any count you want. So yeah, now I want to go in and finish this, and it'll be beautiful when it's done. Now it came, so what I ordered, I want to say it was like $18. I got the partially stitched piece and I got the chart. I didn't get the floss, so I'll have to grab floss for it, but that's not a problem. So that was my last, we'll call it a semi-rescue because I do need to finish it. I'm surrounded by stuff. Okay, well, let's start with the thing that I'm like super focused on. So I have, so that's all my rescues. So I have surgery on my ankle on July 21st. I'm guessing I won't be back before then for a floss tube. And I'm not sure when afterwards I will be back. I will be. I just don't know when. I don't know when I'm going to feel up to it. I'm also going to be stuck in bed. So the surgery on my ankle is like relatively major. The more I can stay laying down with my leg elevated after surgery, the better and faster it's going to heal. And I have at least 6 weeks of that. 6 weeks of not being able to put any weight at all on my left leg. And that will, then I go through weeks or months of like gradually increasing the amount of weight. So anyway, I'm gonna be in bed. That's the point. I'm gonna be in bed for a long time post-surgery. And I don't know how well I'll be feeling, especially in those first few days. And yeah, I'm not sure when or how exactly I'll end up filming, but I'll work that out. I doubt I'm gonna be back before then. So anyway, that's July 21st. I should say today is July 3rd, Sunday, July 3rd, 2022. Oh, I forgot to take the chart off. I gotta take the chart off. So just real quickly, a lot of you have heard me say this. Hope I didn't just show the chart. A lot of you have heard me say this before. I am stitching Mirabilia's Moonlight Lullaby, which I don't think I even have the chart handy to be able to show you the cover picture. But I'm stitching Moonlight Lullaby for my mother-in-law as a birth sampler of my daughter. And I really would like to be able to give this to her when she's here. She's coming for the surgery to help to watch the kids while my husband's at the surgery center with me. I really want to get this done, but that gives me less than 3 weeks to finish this, and I'm very nervous about being able to get it done. So I have most of the X's from here up done. I have a few of these things which are just annoying, these little like stars that I need to put in. I decided to ignore some of those for now and just work on the figure. I'm hauling butt on this right now. I came back from Hawaii last week and just jumped right back in. I just really want to get it done. It's actually like looks better in the viewfinder than in person at the moment. Like I can tell more how the blanket's draping. It's really beautiful. So anyway, I just need to finish like this part here. It swoops down, and then there's a the border comes in, and then there's the border continues because there's a spot down here where the original chart has a quote, and instead of stitching the quote, I'm going to stitch my daughter's birth details. So anyway, I want to get this done. It doesn't need to be framed because my mother-in-law said she'd frame it, but I would really like to get it stitched. So kind of everything else is, or almost everything else is being put aside for the moment while I try to get that done. So wish me luck. I really want to get it done. I want to be able to give it to my mother-in-law, but I also, I don't want to have to worry about it after surgery. I kind of want to have like a clean crafting slate because surgery is not fun, and the way I kind of like mentally like get through it is by planning and thinking about all the awesome crafting time that I have afterwards, because there's no cooking, there's no cleaning, there's no anything, because I'm going to be laying in bed. And it's really awesome, I have to say, that I have a husband that makes that possible. I have been through a surgery like this before, so several years ago, so on my other leg. So we know how it'll work, and really I stay in bed and let my body heal, which is phenomenal. And last time I got a ton of stitching done. I made a quilt. There were all kinds of awesome things I did. So I don't know, just it's hard to look forward to like finishing up an old project that's going to somebody else. I'd rather like have more of a clean slate and be able to like work on whatever I want to. Okay, chatelaine Wednesday. My chatelaine I've been working on primarily is Egypt Mandala Garden. I'm sorry, I don't know if you can see, if it's showing through too much. Find something I can put behind. Does that help? So Egypt Mandala Garden, I have not even worked on in the last 2 weeks. I have worked on it since I filmed my last Flosstube, but I think I only put like 10 stitches in or something. Yeah, the week before we left for Hawaii, I mean, there was like appointments and school had ended and there were a million things to do and I had to get packed, and I think I only got a few stitches in. And then the last 2 weeks I didn't get any stitches in. So I didn't take it with me to Hawaii, first of all. For those of you who can like travel long distances with a project like that, more power to you. I cannot. So it stayed here. I didn't want to stitch it in hand, didn't want to take it off the scroll bars, certainly wasn't taking the scroll bars with me. So it stayed here. And then we got home on a Tuesday night. By the time we got like the kids and everything, actually it was this past Tuesday, so we got home Tuesday night. By the time we got the kids and everybody in, like fed and in bed, and it was like late and we all went to bed, and then of course we're jet lagged. I woke up Wednesday and like finally got to and we had things to do Wednesday. Like I had to go get my blood work done for my pre-op physical. Like we had things to do. My son had an appointment for occupational therapy. Like we had to like hit the ground running Wednesday. And I finally looked on Instagram and saw Maggie Kitschy Whip's post about Chatelaine Wednesday, which is like the thing I started with her. And I was just like, oh no. Are you kidding me? It's Wednesday. Thankfully, Maggie was like, Amy, don't do it. Because I really was like, I have to do it. Ended up giving myself a pass. I didn't do it this week. I was so tired. And trying to like take care of family and get groceries back in the house and all the things. But next Wednesday it should be back on. My plans basically are to kick as much butt on Moonlight Lullaby as possible and do Chatelaine Wednesday. And then I might sprinkle a few things in here and there if I just like need a break. But I really want to focus and try to get Moonlight Lullaby done. So let's talk about what I did stitch while I was on my trip. I'm going to try to pull up a picture of this one. So oh, that's just the pattern. So this is a free pattern from Mirabilia. It's called Leilani the Hula Dancer, which I went to Hawaii, so of course I needed to take her and stitch her while we were there. The little bit of stitching that I did do while we were in Hawaii was on this piece was on Leilani, but it's very little. Is this the right one? This is the right one. And she's got several water lilies in her, even though I haven't gotten to those yet. So this is as far as I got. Not far at all. And I had ahead of time, I had started her, I had put in just a few stitches in her hair. Or no, excuse me, I think I put in a few stitches in her skin just to get her started. So this is Leilani, the hula dancer. She'll get done eventually. I'd actually like to work on her after my surgery quite a bit. She's not huge, but she's free. You can go get her off the Mirabilia website and stitch her for free, which I think is awesome. I love that about Mirabilia, that she has some really nice free patterns. And if you're somebody who's like nervous about doing a Mirabilia, of course she has the Nora Corbett line, which tend to be like smaller and often a bit simpler designs. At least some of them are simpler. You could start there if you're not ready for that even, or you don't feel like you're ready for that. Go check out her free patterns at Mirabilia.com. She was doing like yearly angels for a while. But she's also got Leilani. They're really nice. I mean, they're really high quality patterns for free patterns. The other thing that I did on the plane, make sure I don't lose my needle. I'm sorry, my needle's right in the middle. I worked on, do I have the picture? I've shown this before. I am stitching Emerald Mermaid. I'm going to make a couple changes to her to make it show up better on the dark fabric, but I'm stitching her on this dark navy blue. It's a Wishelt. It's a Wishelt 32 count. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a navy blue. I was looking for dark blue to stitch her on. I've mentioned this before, but in case you don't remember, because I don't expect you to remember everything I say, or it's your first time here, I'm stitching Titania on black, which is another thing I really want to get back to. And I love the way she looks on black. She really pops, and I wanted to do something similar for a mermaid and see if it would look similarly awesome. So yeah, started working on her. And I mean, considering I just worked on her for a few hours here and there on the plane, I feel like I got a lot done. I think I've put a little more work in on this since you saw it last. This, and I don't have a good picture of it, but this is Fairy Treasures from Mirabilia. Which I'm enjoying quite a bit. So this is so funny because, so here, this is like her skirt going down, parts of her skirt. This is a box she's holding. But this, I feel like, looks like an anatomy diagram. The parts that I've stitched so far. Like, I don't know. Like, these are like lungs or kidneys or something. I don't know. Does anybody else see that? I feel like it looks like a partial anatomy diagram. I mean, there's Fairy Treasures, which I've just done a little bit on since you saw it last. I need to get I'm doing this. I need to get to the post office this week too, because a couple of you, there's things I need to get to you. Okay. So this next one I just started. Oh, I don't remember who started this. Okay, so there's a Kitten Caboodle SAL. Is that its name? Sarah, Memphis Sarah E, made me aware of this, and then Maggie Kitschy Whips also brought it up, and but I don't remember who started it. So the Kitten Caboodle SAL, I think the idea is every month, starting this month in July, to start one of your kits. There's been there's been a number of Flosstubers recently kind of going through their kit stash. A lot of us have a lot of kits. So the idea was to get us to actually like get working on them and get them going. And initially I was like, no, I already have enough going. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, that's a really good idea. It's a really good idea. So, yay, I'm in Kitten Caboodle SAL. So I started on July 1st, I started this. It is cigar box art. I mentioned it before. Maggie Kitschy Whips also has this. I bought it as a kit off eBay. It's all the floss. And just in case anybody's curious, because I do have people ask these sorts of questions a lot. When I have a kit, like in this particular kit, the flosses, I didn't want to work with the flosses the way they were. They were already separated, but they were on like cards that weren't real sturdy, and they didn't, each color didn't have its own slot. What I do, and the same thing I do with Teresa Wentzler's, I go through and I actually write the number of the floss. In this case, the kit uses DMC numbers. I write the number of the floss on the floss away bag and tuck the floss in. So I use floss away bags. I switched out the fabric. I don't remember the name of what I'm using, but if you want to know, let me know and I'll look it up. I'm using a 28 count from Color and Cotton for it. I think it's a pretty good representation of the original, but this is just a 14 count Ada. I'm sorry if you hear banging and stuff in the background. Everybody's home, so there's life going on around me. Anyway, so there's my really small start. This is part of her skin, this is her cheek, and this is part of one of the flowers in her hair. So the other thing I'm doing this kit, finally started this kit for, is Maggie and I have started a move to Cuba SAL. It's a long story. I've told it in some of my other Flosstubes. You're welcome to go check it out. Also, Lucky Chance Stitcher, Amanda, I liked her hashtag idea. She suggested the Amy Don't Go SAL. So I'm using both. I'm using a Move to Cuba SAL and an Amy Don't Go SAL hashtag, as well as the Kitten Caboodle SAL hashtag for this. But this is beautiful. I love it. I mean, it's just an old kit from Janlin. I think it's beautiful, and I would love any and all of you to join us. If you watch my channel, you probably like pretty ladies and fancy ladies. She's beautiful. There's a beautiful peacock over here. I think she's stunning, and I like the vintage look of it. You can get the kit. The kit, at least last time I looked, was pretty readily available for not much money on the secondhand market, which is where I got it. But also, you can go to Cooler Design Studio's website and download the PDF. You can also buy the print copy of it, or you can download the PDF. And I only knew that, or only knew to look, because of Stitchin' Mommy. When I actually pulled out the chart, where is the chart? I didn't lose the chart, did I? The chart's somewhere. Did I put it back in here? I put it back in here. When I pulled out the chart, I saw that it said Cooler Design Studio on the chart. And I remembered Stitchin' Mommy mentioning that, like, I think she has some kits. Like, I think some of her, like, seasonal crosses, maybe, and some other pieces that were at one point sold as kits. You can now get the chart at Cooler Design Studio's website. And I know that, like Teresa Wentzler's patterns were like this. The licensing went to a company like Janlin or Leisure Arts for a certain number of years, and then the rights to the pattern reverted to the designer. So I'm guessing that's what must be going on here, that like Janlin had the rights for a while, and now Cooler Design Studio has the rights back. So anyway, if you want to join us, you don't have to find the kit on the secondary market. You can just go to Cooler Design Studios website, Google Cooler Design Studios. Cooler is K-O-O-L-E-R. And and download the pattern and kit it up yourself. So there we go. Move to Cuba SAL, Amy Don't Go SAL, Kitten Caboodle SAL. And I've been waiting to put this in here. Okay, I'm going to show you one piece of haul real quick before I move on. So Melissa at Sheba Designs, I want to make sure I get this right. I got this off Etsy. Did I get this off Etsy? Yeah, Etsy. I thought so. So I got this project bag. I don't buy many anymore because I don't need them. I got this project bag from Sheba Designs on Etsy, which I think is beautiful. I love the woodland creatures. This is the bag I'm going to put this project in, so I've been waiting to put it in to show you. Melissa was so sweet. I feel like this might be my first piece of like, well, it's not my first piece of Stitchy Kindness. Might be my first piece I'm showing on here and accrediting to somebody. So Melissa apparently knew who I was because I didn't like tell her when I bought it, but she knows who I am. I mean, I follow her on Instagram, but like, I didn't know that she'd like put 2 and 2 together. Look what she sent. She put a hexie together. She made an English paper piece hexie because my daughter and I have been working on that quilt. I thought this was so sweet. And when I showed my daughter, she lost her mind. She was over the moon. She's like, somebody knows who we are and made us that. It was so sweet. So thank you so much, Melissa. That was very, very kind of you and absolutely made my daughter's day. I'm gonna put this in here now so I don't lose anything. Oh, the mess. My kids are waving at me. What else? I'm almost done with my stitching. How much time? Oh my God, I've talked a long time. Okay. So this is my very neglected Seize the Day SAL. Very neglected. And it's gonna stay neglected until I get Moonlight Lullaby done. I am enjoying this though. It's a nice, it's like a palette cleanser for me. Like when you've been doing a bunch of really big projects, it's kind of nice to sit down, and do something a bit more whimsical. So this is from Frosted Pumpkin. I knew it was pumpkin, and I'm sitting here and all I could think of was Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, which it's not. But if you don't watch Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, check her out. She's a great Flosstube. Knew it wasn't Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, but I couldn't think of Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. So this is from Frosted Pumpkin. It's the Under the Sea Club. Now I'm second guessing myself. I'm like, have I lost my mind? It's Frosted Pumpkin, isn't it? Hi, Logan. I have my third child finally made it to me. I know, but you're the third. He just told me I'm his second child. He's my second child. But you're the third child who's come to wave or say hi today. That's what I mean. Yeah. Maddie first, and then Liam, and now you. I lost my... Anyway, Under the Sea Club... No, not Under the Sea. Seize the Day. Oh, it is Under the Sea Club. Oh my God. My brain still isn't functioning. Anyway, so this was part 1. This is part 2. I'm not even done with part 1. Because I jump around. Like, once the next part's out, I print out the pattern, and I just jump around, like, wherever I want. I don't see any reason to, like, do it one part at a time. But I haven't started parts 3 or 4 yet. This will come. It just isn't there yet, and I'm not doing it with a called for. I'm in the Bestitch Me Silk of the Month Club, and I chose mostly some Bestitch Me silks. I have an enormous ring of Bestitch Me silks now, and they don't get used as often as they should. So I went through and chose threads from that. And then I also chose a leftover. This is what I'm using for the dolphins. This is a leftover water lily from Undine. And I also am using, I don't remember what brand, but this is a white silk that I'm using for it. So that's my Under the Sea. Oh, everything's such a mess. Excuse me while I put a few things back. Or toss them on the floor, as the case may be. Okay, that's all my stitching. That's all the stitching that I've done. I don't usually do like a lot of haul, but in this case, I'm going to do it largely because I've been so busy the last few weeks that, and I've been through this before. I know I've talked to you guys about this before, and it happens sometimes. I'm just so busy that I don't put things away, that things get stacked up on my sewing table until I have time to put them away. And I want to put this stuff away, which is part of why I'm filming today, because I had this stack and I was thinking I should actually show that as haul on my next video. But I wanted to be able to show it, and I want to put it away today. So I was like, well, I better film my Flosstube so that my daughter's talking to me now. Hi, Miss Madison. You having fun? Yeah? Okay. Anyway, I want to put the stuff away. It was stacked up and piling up, and I wanted to show you, so that's why I'm filming today. I already put the fabric away. Hey, sweetie, can you go somewhere else? Thanks, babe. I already put the fabric away, but I had ordered a fabric from, bye, Maddie, from Hand Dye by Rolanda. I really like Hand Dye by Rolanda. Her fabric's amazing. She does free shipping at like a certain dollar amount or whatever. And I was ordering a fabric and just needed a few dollars to get to free shipping. So I ordered a couple of flosses. I'm using her floss for another project right now, and I love her floss. So this is just cotton. And so now I can put those away. Something else I got the two most recent, sorry for all the crinkling. Well, I don't know if they are they the most recent now? Yeah, I think they are. Nora Corbett designs. This is Floral Dreams and Moonglow. I love these. I'm not sure when I'm gonna stitch them. It'll be soon. But I need inspiration to strike. I need to be really happy with my fabric choice. I love these. I just do. I wish Nora would do more nudes. I love them. I think they're stunning. Just absolutely beautiful. So I also got, look at these water lilies. So I got the water lilies and the beads for them. Oh my God, this is such a glorious, oh my God. I love water lilies. They are so soft. They've got to be my favorite silk to stitch with. Put them all together. Look at these. Now this is for both designs. Like some go to one and some go to the other. They're so good. They're just so soft. She's kicking me in the back while she's stretching her sleeve. So nice to stitch with. So I need to get that organized. I know what this is from. I also got tea from Nora Corbett, and I only ordered one this time. I didn't mess up and order multiple copies. Hey Mads, you can watch my Flosstube later, okay? Go find something to do. My daughter's being a goof behind camera. And I got her embellishment pack as well. I actually got her water lily too. It's just not here at the right, like with the stuff at the moment. I told you I placed that order with 1884 Stitchery for this one, this rescue that I did, partial rescue. They also, I just saw this chart. I was just browsing through and I saw this chart and kind of fell in love. Their faces are a little wonky, but I love so she's got a quilt on. I'm a quilter. She's got cross stitch in her lap. Obviously I'm a cross stitcher. And reading to her kids, which is something I love my kids. So this might get done at some point. I don't know. I liked it enough to want to add it to my stash. And it wasn't expensive. It was just a few dollars. Can you just sit tight for a few minutes? She wants to get up now because she hears stuff going on, but she's kind of boxed in because I have stitching everywhere. There's nowhere for her to jump down. I also, who was I seeing? I heard somebody talking about, it might have been the Virginia Stitcher. I think it might have been when I was the Virginia Stitcher. I am way behind on Flosstube because for like 2 weeks I didn't watch any. And I've spent the last few days trying desperately to catch up. But anyway, I think it was a Virginia Stitcher. Saw her talking about some Hawk Run Hollows, and it reminded me something kind of in the back of my brain I'd been thinking about. I really wanted to make sure I had all the Hawk Run Hollows that I want. Because I have several of them. Hopefully they'll get done at some point. Not sure when. So anyway, I went through my stash and to make sure I had things, and there were a couple I wanted that I didn't have. So this one's Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow that I wanted to add to my stash. I have Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow as a whip. I'm trying not to start any more until I get that one at least like largely done. You know, like I've a few stitches in right now is all. And then spring at Hawk Run Hollow, which is beautiful. So I just got those to add to stash. And then I also, my son has a thing for chickens. I saw this and just thought it was adorable and would be a quick stitch. I can pull flosses from stash. You know, I have so many fancy flosses at this point. I can pull some flosses from stash to stitch that up. And I think it'll be beautiful. So that's on my list of things to do now. Okay, that's all the stitching. I am going to show, sorry, I might make the camera wiggle a little bit by accident. I'm going to show just a little bit of quilting and quilting haul. So if you're just here, well, you know what, it's so hard. I find it hard to separate them. Like quilting and stitching. Here, I will try though. I was gonna say, forget it, I'm not separating them. I will try. I don't know if I'm making any sense to you guys. I know what's going on in my head. I don't know that it's coming out of my mouth correctly. So plans. Plans right now are very much for me like built around my surgery and the Mirabilia retreat. I will put in the description box, it might not be there right away, but I'll get it there eventually. The link for our Google form. So if you're interested in being on our mailing list for the Mirabilia retreat, October 5th through the 8th in Charlotte, if you haven't already filled out our Google form, please do so. I'll leave a link in the description box. Nora Corbett's gonna be there. So excited. Oh, so excited. So excited. Early on when we were talking about like what would it be like, Maggie and I were talking and some other people, like what would it be like if we did this? Like if we tried to, like, can you imagine what would happen if like Nora was there? And I was kind of jokingly like, I would just sit there staring at her and drooling all day and totally creep her out. And I still kind of feel that way. Like other people, I don't know, I feel like some people are like really big fans of like an actor or an actress or something, would like lose their sports figure and would like lose their mind if they met that person in person. And I feel like Nora is that for me. I can't believe it. Oh my God. I just love Nora's work so much. And I've spent so much of my life stitching her pieces. I don't, anyway, I'm so excited for this retreat, guys. I can't even, I hope a lot of you will be there with me. I can't wait. So anyway, my plans are for surgery, for post-surgery, are revolving in part around Mirabilia Retreat and like brag table, because we will have a brag table, and I know I'm gonna bring Lady Mirabilia. I want to finish some other Mirabilias in time to bring. And so like that's going to be a huge chunk of stitching time after surgery, and so I'm trying to think about what else, like what I can finish. My two priorities are going to be Damask Roses and Titania. So Damask Roses, it needs to be done. I love it so much and I want it done, and I want it on the brag table, and I want Nora to see it. Titania is a hopeful goal. I'm going to be in my bedroom. My bedroom does not have as good a light, and it's on black fabric. I'm setting Titania as a goal, but a flexible goal. It may, I'm trying to work on her with a bunch of other wonderful ladies on Instagram who are all stitching her at the moment, and I really want her done. She's been hanging around for way too long. But I want to give myself enough grace and understanding that like if it just isn't going to work out in there, if it's more trouble than it's worth because there just isn't good enough light, then Titania will have to wait. So my primary goals between now and surgery, my primary goal is just Moonlight Lullaby. Post-surgery is going to be Damask Roses and hopefully Titania. And I'm going to continue doing Chatelaine Wednesday in there. I'll be able to stitch on that in my room, no problem. I'm going to keep doing the Kitten Caboodle SAL, but I also think definitely continuing on the cigar box art, the Move to Cuba SAL. I also have a lot of like little things, and sometimes, especially when I'm not feeling great, little things are great to work on. You know, I like little drums that are half done, and like things like this. I have like a Raven's needle book and a mermaid needle book from Lindy Stitches. I have lots of little things that'll keep me company. I also showed you my needlepoint piece. That's the brick cover. I think my last Flosstube maybe. I have that to work on and get done. But definitely the priorities will be Damask Roses and hopefully Titania. If Titania doesn't work out, I have a lot of other stuff to choose from. And I don't know that I might jump around a lot. I don't know. Sometime I should show you guys my list of Mirabilia. Oh, and I want to work on, what do we say, Teresa Wentzler, Princess and the Dragon. I want to get a lot of attention to. But I really, like, I think I'm going to feel better once I have a finish or two to take to the Mirabilia retreat. So those are definitely high on my priority list. I have Garden Muses that's up there sitting next to my bed that I'd love to get done. I have this Emerald Mermaid. I have Renaissance Mermaid is like, I've got a lot done on that. Merchant Mermaid, I've got a lot done on. I think it's Merchant Mermaid. It's the one that says Mill Hill, but I'm not doing the Mill Hill part. I have so many. I have Cinderella I could work on. I have Mermaid Treasures. Not Mermaid Treasures. Fairy Treasures. There's just so many. I also will continue doing the Thursday night, one Thursday a month, Pam at Stitch and Land of Good Enough. Her shop is Stitch New England. She does a Fancy Lady SAL. I missed it while I was in Hawaii because it was like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon Hawaii time. I don't know where we were. We were doing something. But I'm gonna keep doing that, which is a Joan Elliott Sleeping Princess, Sleeping Beauty that I want to work on. Red. My husband really wants, red should get done. Mirabilia's red. I could get that done. I don't know why that stinker just have a hard time going back to it. Anyway, lots of plans. We'll see what I do. I don't know if you guys care about me sitting here and just yammering on about all my Mirabilia whips. Okay, so that's all the stitching talk. I only have like 2 minutes or something of like quilting talk if you want to stick around. Just a couple quick quilting things to show. While I was in Hawaii, I was on the Big Island, which as far as I could tell does not have a cross-stitch store at all. But they do have a quilt shop, and I want to give a huge shout out to this quilt shop. Here's a, Maddie, I don't know where Dad is. Is he mowing? Okay, I'm almost done. I can come help you in a few minutes. You can check upstairs, but nope, I don't want you in here. I'll come find you as soon as I'm done. I feel really uncomfortable when people watch me. Could you go somewhere else until I'm done? Please? Pretty please? Scoot. Thank you. The sooner you go, the sooner I'll be done. Maddie, 5, 4, 3. Thank you. Okay, so on the Big Island, there is this quilt shop called Quilt Passions. They were awesome. They have a quilt museum, like next door to the shop, that focuses on Hawaiian quilts and like Hawaiian quilt history, and it was awesome. I mean, it's not huge by any stretch of the imagination, but so fun. They also had, so when I get involved in a craft, I tend to like to know everything about the craft, like start to finish. So they include, there's like an exhibit that shows you how the early Hawaiians made their own fabric. It was so cool. And it very much reminded me, I don't remember what it was called, I'd have to look it up, but it reminded me a lot of linen. They made fabric from a plant. And as a spinner, I'm familiar with linen and how you have to like take the flax plant and you have to get it wet and you have to, you know, ret it and you have to process it a certain way and like really beat it up. Anyway, what the Hawaiians did reminds me of that, of what you have to do with linen and the flax plant. It was really cool. They showed like examples of the fabric or of the fiber from the plant in like different stages of the processing. And then they just had amazing and beautiful quilts inside, which they, you know, don't want us taking pictures of. There were like strict picture rules, so I'm not going to show any pictures of them. But it was amazing. Also, something that I thought was very cool is they have fabrics that are unique to them. And I'm not sure that I'm going to, I might not get this quite right. Let me see if I can remember. I think that's right. So they have some fabrics that are just Hawaii specific. Like I want it, so I go on vacation to Hawaii, right? First of all, fabric's heavy. I can't bring home a suitcase full of fabric. It would cost $1 million in like overweight baggage fees. But what I wanted to do was pick up some fabrics that were like unique to the trip, that would be like memories of the trip, you know, not something that I can just order online from a million different stores. So I picked up a few. They had some fabrics that were just like Hawaii based. And so some of these are just that. I don't think any of these, well, this just says Aloha. It's got the flowers. It says Hawaii and Aloha. I'm not sure what I'll do with this. I might just make a bag with it. But I got that. I don't think this one was, is it upside down for you? It's upside down for you. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember. I think she said this one was like a local artist who made this one. And it's very Hawaii specific. It's got a map of the Big Island on it. The sea turtles, the waterfalls and whatnot, some of the flowers. This one, I think she said this one. So they have a bunch of fabrics that are, I'm jumping all over the place. I apologize. I don't remember if she said this one was the local artist, but this was Hawaiian flowers. One of the fabrics that was meant to be like from Hawaii. And then they have a bunch of fabrics that are unique to only their store. No other store carries them. Now that's an awesome souvenir from Hawaii, as far as I'm concerned. They're mostly batiks. I'm sorry, I have hair like hanging down and it won't, I don't know, get it out of my face. I'm not usually much of a batik person. I don't dislike them. It's not my usual style, but I definitely will use it for some things. And my husband is like totally into Hawaii and like tiki culture and stuff. So I picked up some larger cuts of a few of their batiks and things. So there's this one, and I will use these in quilts. Maybe also in bags and some smaller items, but definitely I bought some quilt patterns too, which I didn't bring to show you. I just wanted to show you the fabrics. I will definitely use these in some of the, I bought like a pattern of a sea turtle and some other like Hawaii specific quilt patterns. There's one with a volcano on it, and I'll use these in there. This one will probably get used as a border print. I'll show you the other batik. This one, the sea turtles. We did see one sea turtle on the beach. We went to a black sand beach where there's always sea turtles. Apparently there was one up on the beach that we could see. Kept our distance. But again, this fabric, so you can only get this fabric at that quilt shop on the Big Island. We also went snorkeling. I didn't see any sea turtles while we were snorkeling. But I did see a ton of other awesome marine life. It was really cool. This one I will probably make a bag out of. It's not a batik. It has kind of a batik look to it, but it's not. It's traditionally printed. But it's like it's a border print. So it goes all the way up. What I will probably do is use this side for like the outside of the bag, and then make the interior of the bag with this. Is what I am likely to do. And the last one, yeah, this is just a traditionally printed fabric that I will definitely use. I think it's beautiful. Just looks like ocean waves swirling. So, oh, okay, so that was my Hawaii souvenirs. Last thing, quilting thing, I just started working on this the other night when I got home. Like I said, I've been hauling butt on Moonlight Lullaby, and so in the evenings, I just kind of want to sit and do something else and something kind of mindless and easy. Excuse me. Because I definitely reach a point with any stitching project, but also Moonlight Lullaby, where I've just like had enough. And I don't want it to feel like a chore, so when it starts to feel like a chore, or I notice I'm like checking my phone every 2 minutes, it's time to put it away. So I started making this simple hexie quilt. These are huge hexies. These are 2.5 inches. Yep, 2.5 inch hexies. I used these, the papers for something else, and then move them over to use on this. So I just started making this quilt. I have no idea. I don't know when it'll be done. I don't even care. It's more like like to be doing something productive with my hands. than because it's like a dream quilt that I want done. Sometimes I just need something mindless and simple, and that's what this is. But this was only 2 nights of sewing, because these hexies are huge. This was only 2 nights of sewing to get all this done, which I think is pretty awesome. So what I had was a fat quarter bundle. I think it was on clearance at some point, and I don't remember the name of it. But all the red, white, and blue fabrics were from a fat quarter bundle. And these figures, which my one said are creepy, and he's not wrong, but they're also nostalgic, right? Like there used to be, and my kids have a couple of books like this that we used to read a lot. There was one about baby animals that my kids really loved. Anyway, you know, this like old-fashioned, like kitschy artwork. Anyway, they, you know, I can see the creepiness factor, but they're also like kind of nostalgic for me. So I had this layer cake. It wasn't a huge layer cake, but it had all the like red, white, and blue fabrics. And I went through, and while we were watching movies at night and stuff, actually we were watching Marvel, one of the Marvel series. Loki. We were watching Loki. I went through and cut the layer cake into all these large hexies. I fussy cut the figures, but the rest of them I just cut, you know, wherever. But once I had the layer cake, I like wasn't like all cut up. It's awesome when you cut something up and then you're like, I don't like it. I didn't love it. I was like, eh. It just didn't feel quite right to me. So I went to I have a bin of Lori Holt fabrics. I went to that and I cut up some yellow and some green. And I think just adding in some yellow and green for me, I didn't cut up tons of it, but I don't know, it just makes it, and it makes it more me. I like it a little bit more now, so I'm more likely to work on it. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. That's my crafting life here for the last few weeks, which has been not much because I've been so busy. Well, thanks for sticking around, guys. Thanks for joining me today. Somehow I still ended up with a really long video, even without a lot of stitching time. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for, you know, if you're somebody who likes hanging out with me for a while, thank you. Thanks for subscribing and stuff. Like I've said before, I don't do this to like get the most subscribers or the most likes or anything like that. But it's nice feeling like, and I definitely am feeling that now. I'm feeling like there's a group of people who have a similar passion or passion for similar things that I do, who are out there, who like to comment and join me. Thank you. I enjoy that. It's nice getting to know you guys. I love reading the comments. I always heart them when if I haven't hearted your comments because I haven't seen it. And I just remembered, it's awesome to remember this late in the video. One of you asked me a question that I meant to look up the answer to and I keep forgetting. And that is, what color did I do the hair on Stargazer in? And I don't remember, but I will try very hard to look that up. And might post it on Instagram, or I will try to remember to address it the next time I do a Flosstube. So I apologize if that was your comment. I apologize that I still haven't answered it. I need to dig out my old chart and try to find, hopefully it's written on there, my notes. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you feel welcome here. I'm just starting to ramble now because I'm so bad at ending these. But I hope you guys are having a great summer. I hope you have a good 4th of July if you celebrate it, and get lots of fun stitching time in this summer, and enjoy making all of the wonderful things that we have in our stashes to create. All right, thanks guys. I'll see you soon.